Hello everybody. So today we're going to be looking at the substitution method, which is the first method we're going to look at to solve the systems where you don't have to pull out a piece of graph paper and use it that way, which is also good because if you get any of those instances where it's hard to tell exactly where they're crossing, if they're not quite at a line, this bypasses all of that. So substitution, remember, is when you take one thing and replace it with something else. So just like when a sports team, they need to do a substitution, they pull out a player and put in another player, they can play that same position. Okay, so they're replacing one that should be equivalent. So in math, we talk about equivalence in terms of equations. So in this case, y is equivalent to 3x minus 5 because they're equal. Okay, so since I have to have the same x's and y to make a solution to a system of equations for both of them, that means this y has to be the same as this y, and that x has to be the same as that x. So because of that, I can do something kind of sneaky here. I can take this y out and replace it with 3x minus 5 because they should be equivalent. So I'm going to do a substitution. So I write everything down, but when I get to y, I'm going to put parentheses and write in 3x minus 5. So I replace the y in the second equation with 3x minus 5 because y is equal to 3x minus 5. They're equivalent. Now, my new equation has absolutely no y's, so I can solve it for x and actually get a solution. So this is what we practiced towards the beginning of last quarter, where we just are simplifying equations. So nothing hopefully new here, so I'm going to distribute that in there. So 2x, and then 4 times 3x is 12x. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20, equals negative 6. Combine some like terms. I only have 2 on this side, so I have 14x. And then this, I'll just bring down for a second. I'm going to add 20 to both sides, because I'm trying to get things away from the side with the x, which is the left in this case. So 14x, negative 6 plus 20 is equal to 14. Divide by 14, divide by 14, so x equals 1. Now, remember, we're looking for an intersection point, so I need an x and a y. I can't just stop when I found x. But the y is the easy one. Well, really, whatever the second one is the easy one. Okay, with substitution, it's usually y, but not with all the methods. Sometimes you'll have a choice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this x value and plug it back in for one of my equations. And this top one looks like it's going to be easier, so that's what I'm going to go with. So it's y equals 3, but I just found out my x value is 1 from right there, minus 5. Okay, so when I clean this up, I have 3 times 1, which is 3 minus 5, so y equals negative 2. Now I have an x and a y, which I want to write as a point, so it's 1 comma negative 2. But we do want to double check our answer just to make sure. There's a lot of stuff going on. So I got it, my second one, from plugging into my first equation. So I want to plug both x and y into my second equation and see if it's true. If it is, that means my answer should be correct. If it's not, that means I made a mistake. So I'm going to plug 1 in for x and negative 2 in for y. So I have 2 times 1, so 2. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. So 2 plus negative 8 is negative 6. So that means my answer should be correct. All right, let's try another one. What if I have y equals 2x plus 1 and 3x plus 4y equals, let's see, make sure this comes out well. $26. Okay, so let's try this one. Same idea. I know that y is equal to 2x plus 1. So I'm going to replace the y here with 2x plus 1. 3x plus 4. My y is 2x plus 1. Remember, that's the part we're taking out. equals 26. Now, a common mistake people make here is they put 4y, 2x plus 1. Remember, we're taking out the y. We're replacing it. So we have to get rid of the y to put in something new. So don't write 4y, parentheses, 2x plus 1. So now I can distribute again, because I only have x's. 3x plus 8x plus 4 equals 26. So just multiplying that 4. So 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times 1 is 4. Combining my like terms. Subtract 4. So just normal equation stuff at this point. Divide by 11. X equals 2. That's the first part. I have x. I also need y. So I'm going to come back up to my first equation and plug x in. Y equals 2 times the 2 I'm plugging in, because it's 2 times x, so 2 times 2 plus 1. So y equals 5. So right now it's looking like 2 comma 5, because it's x comma y. I always put those in alphabetically. And let's plug it back in to our second original equation to see if it works. So we have 3 times 2, which is 6. 4 times 5 is 20. 6 plus 20 is 26. So we are correct. So that's kind of how substitution works. So try it out and see how it goes.